Guys, Enzo Flojo here, and this is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast, the only show that brings you the latest scoop on everything basketball here in the Philippines. Whether you're a diehard fan, a casual observer, or just looking for some good old-fashioned hoop talk, you've come to the right place. So whether you're a fan of the PBA, the UAAP, the NCAA, Gilas, or any other league in the Philippines, we've got you covered. And if you're just discovering the exciting world of Philippine basketball, we're here to guide you through every dunk, crossover, three-pointer, and controversial college transfer. So get ready to be entertained, informed, and inspired as we delve into the world of Philippine basketball. This is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. Let's talk some hoops. Hey guys, good day. Enzo Flojo here, and once again, you are watching or listening to the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. I believe this is episode 7 already. This was actually supposed to come out yesterday, pero yesterday instead we had a quick reaction video, about the current challenges, especially in terms of putting practice sessions together for our men's national basketball team, Gilas Pilipinas, and of course they're preparing for the SEA Games, which is coming first week of May. As we get closer to the SEA Games, we're gonna have a lot more episodes discussing Gilas, maybe taking a look at their roster, their opponents, and of course I want to also do maybe a few episodes on our 3x3 squads and our women's team, the defending champions. I think they're the only defending basketball champion, I think, from the Philippines. They're entering the SEA Games this coming May. So definitely we have to put a spotlight on our amazing women's basketball team. And hopefully, if stars align, maybe we'll get, one or two players to coaches, to maybe guest on our pod. But for now, let's focus on this episode. This episode, it's not going to be a very long one, but I think it's going to be potentially interesting for a lot of people. Because we're going to talk about whether student athletes who are in high school, of course, these are student athletes who have the potential to play at the seniors level. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng high school students may ganung trajectory, di ba? But even more elite, ito yung mga student athletes who are actually being recruited to different senior programs around the country. Most notably, of course, in the UAAP and the NCAA. Because let's admit it, these are the two biggest collegiate sports leagues in the country right now. Should these elite, marquee, really high-level student athletes who are being recruited, these blue chips, should they announce their commitment after graduation? After graduating from high school, or should it, is it okay to announce it while they haven't even graduated high school yet, or while they're still even in grade 11? Because we have some examples of that, diba? I think currently the two most high-profile examples of current grade 11 kids who have already, at least based on news articles we've seen, who have reportedly committed to college programs are Jared Bahay from Sacred Heart Ateneo de Cebu, and I think Josh Coronel from LaSalle Green Hills. Both of them, incidentally enough, reportedly have committed to the UP Fighting Maroons already. And they will not be eligible for season 86. Instead, they will be eligible in season 87. Now take note, both Jared and Josh, based on the information we have and we know, are still in grade 11 in high school. So seeing them commit this early is not very common. I think we've seen it a couple of times before. I'm not sure if Jeron Teng, baka mali pagkaalala ko, but I think maybe Jeron Teng also committed very early to LaSalle, even before he graduated from Xavier back in the day. But again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, if you have any insights, opinions, or comments, feel free to comment down below or tag me on Twitter, okay, or on Instagram or Facebook as well. Now, for some people, this is not even a question. Parang, these are elite student athletes. Why should you limit their window of committing? Why even talk about this? Okay, for a lot of people, especially I guess for fans, it's a no-brainer. Of course, they can commit as early as they want to, whether it's grade 12, grade 11, grade 10, whatever, diba? Whether they commit at 14, 15, although, of course, those are extreme examples already. I don't think we're ever gonna see that, no? But I'm asking this question because I think I've been in a pretty unique position over the past several years. No? I've been privileged enough to be a UAAP basketball coach at the same time as being a school administrator for a UAAP school as well. So I've seen it from both sides of the equation, from a fan's perspective and to a certain extent from a coach's perspective. Dapat walang limitation, walang constraint, diba? If a kid wants to commit to La Salle, San Beda, Letran, UST, or whatever school at grade 11, then, there should be no penalty or judgment for that student athlete. And I agree, no judgment dapat, diba? Kasi it's his and his family's decision. Although, and this is the other side of the fence, no? From a school admin's perspective, it's very strange because you're basically sending the message to the public, to everyone, and everyone includes your school's faculty, staff, students, parents, stakeholders, and the general public, that certain students or certain prospective students can, in a way, and this might be the unintended message, but it might still be the message you're sending, diba? Again, it might be unintended, but it's still the message that the public might be getting. No? That when student athletes commit very early, they bypass so many other normal steps to getting accepted into a university or a college. Obviously, the first step is to finish high school. You have to actually finish high school and graduate. Now, some people will say, hindi naman kailangan yan, pwede ka mag-pep test. And I think we've had several examples of that in the past, no? And that's objectively true, okay? But, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, okay, after spending so much time in a reputable high school, would you really settle for a pep test? But that's something that's a little weird for me. I certainly wouldn't recommend that. Again, no, from a school admin's perspective, it can be a point of conflict, although sometimes it can be, to be completely honest, no? But it can be a point of contention or discussion, no? Na, teka, bakit itong coach na to in-announce na in public na sa atin pupunta si ganitong player? The coach doesn't have the authority to say which students will be, matriculating in our school, will be accepted into our school. Okay? And from a school admin's perspective, no, and I guess from a faculty and staff person's perspective, those questions actually have merit naman, diba? Kasi if you are a non-student athlete, if you are a parent of a non-student athlete, medyo mapapaisip ka rin, bakit parang may special treatment or something like that. So that's an interesting discussion, I think, no, for this kind of topic. So a couple of days ago, I put a poll on Twitter, as I'm wont to do. Okay, and the poll says, should a uniquely talented high school student athlete wait till after graduation before publicly announcing his commitment to a senior sports program or team? And around 60%, close to 60% said no need to wait. And we're going to look at some comments. We have one comment from S01E07. They should, because otherwise it's pretty obvious they're not going through the college entrance tests that other students are, and are basically guns for hire, so to speak. So that's a bit of a really graphic, but it's a very strong description for these student athletes, guns for hire. All right. Next, from Joe S. Scoundrel. Wag muna. I guess wag muna mag-announce before graduating. Kasi baka nga bumagsak pa sa entrance exam, nakakahiya naman. All right. And then there's this next one from Jordan Castro. No need to wait, I guess. Early commitment actually is beneficial both ways for the player and the school. The school somehow would be able to fill its roster early on, while on the other hand, the player gets to secure his spot on the roster and may freely decide to withdraw if he feels like that school doesn't value his game by recruiting more players of his position, just like what's happening with UP, Ateneo, and La Salle. Pinangalanan na yung mga big programs. This next one is from Kevin Chong. No need to wait, but they should also announce what benefits they got for the enjoyment of readers like me. And I'm sure many fans are always, that's all part ng discussions ng fans yan, di ba? Ba't ba nag-commit si ganitong player sa ganitong school? May nakuha kaya siyang stuff or benefits or perks aside from a scholarship, aside from a dorm or whatever, di ba? And some more comments. This is from A-Loading24. Nah, if they get the bag and sign a contract, I'm not sure if they actually sign a contract. I haven't seen one in my experience, for at least for minors, definitely. They should announce. Got to build their own brand up. It's free PR. Next, from Sid Ventura, one of our veteran and most respected sports journalists in the country. Why wait? High school athletes in the US can verbally commit to any college at any time. It shouldn't be any different here. That's true. They can verbally commit, but of course, there's also what we call a national signing day in college. That's something we don't have here. I'm not sure if that'll fit the context of Philippine education and Philippine sports. I'm not very, very sure. These are very interesting comments. Obviously, they're on different sides of the fence. Again, from a fan's perspective, it doesn't make sense to wait because you want the kid to be able to exercise his opportunity and option as soon as it's there. And nobody can blame the student or his parents, or his handlers, because some of them do have handlers, okay, if they make that decision very, very early. But there are pros and cons to everything, okay? There's no scenario where there's no pro, there's no con or no drawback to that. I guess at the end is there's no clear black and white or right or wrong answer to whether student athletes who are extremely elite and are being recruited should announce their college commitments, whether it's after graduation or before. Of course, the decision lies really on them, their families, maybe their handlers, and their individual contexts and circumstances. Again, and I'm a big believer of this, we all come from different circumstances and contexts, and we have to make a decision that enables us to best respond to the challenges of our context. Okay. Now, some student athletes may choose to announce their commitments early in their high school career. Why? To continue gaining exposure, attracting, attention and publicity. That's not a bad thing. And gaining traction for their careers. On the other hand, others may actually wait until later in high school or after finishing high school to make that decision. That takes more time to evaluate. That might give them a better chance at actually picking the best offer or the best option out there. And that gives them the longest runway to make the best informed choice. Still, again, others may choose to wait, again, until after finishing high school. They focus on getting that diploma. They focus on attract or building up their high school careers even more so that they can get even better offers down the road. Right? Again, there are pros and cons to everything. Right? Announcing early on, again, can provide a player or athlete, again, with a lot of exposure, a lot of publicity, and if there's a good offer right then and there, why not get it, diba? Baka mawala pa yan. Ang dami pwede mangyari, diba? Baka ma-injure ka, baka may mahanap silang iba na pwedeng offeran, tas wala na yung sayo. However, it can also be beneficial kasi if you wait. Why? If you commit early on and you're tagged as like a superstar, extremely high-level blue-chip recruit, honestly, it creates a lot of pressure. Pressure on such a young mind, a young athlete, to live up to these expectations. And by committing early, you're you're limiting your own options already kasi nakapili ka na. So that means if there's another school who's thinking of recruiting you because you announced in grade 11 that you've already committed to this school, wala na, sarado na yung door na yan. Possibly. Diba? Okay? Now, waiting until later in high school can actually allow these athletes, again, to make more informed decisions. No? On the other hand, it can also, in a way, constrain their options. Kasi baka nga yung top programs, sa kakahintay mo mag-commit, may napili na silang iba or napuno na nila yung roster nila. Again, the decision is ultimately upon the athlete, his or her family, and if they have agents, it's so weird to say that, diba? Handlers or agents or representatives. No? Again, they have to consider their own personal circumstances and what their own, I guess, individual goals are for their career, what are their priorities, ano ba yung timeline nila. Pero sana, this is me with both my coaching and school admin hat on, basta kailangan carefully evaluate everything. Don't make a decision impulsively. Okay? And ito siguro yung pinaka-importante for me. I can only hope that the people around these athletes actually have that athlete's best interest, no, in mind and in heart. Okay, hindi yung ito piliin mo para makaporsyento ako. Hindi ganoon. Sana hindi ganoon, 'di ba? Hopefully they're advising these kids to make the best option because it's what's best for him or her as a teenager, as a prospective student athlete. So there you go. If you like this topic, then you should like our future topics as well. As always, if you have insights, comments, opinions, don't forget to comment down below or tag me on Twitter, Instagram, or on Facebook, all that good stuff. As always, we're gonna spotlight, fan comments whenever we do this because we value what you guys think. Okay, our next episode drops tomorrow, so watch out for that. As always, mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball. Again, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed creating it. So don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, feel free to leave a comment because we love that engagement. And who knows, maybe your comment might be featured next. You can also read my stuff on clutchpoints.com, Tiebreaker Times, and of course, FIBA.basketball. Follow me on Twitter at Hoopnut or Instagram at TheHoopnut for more content and updates. Until next time, keep betting on yourself, shooting your shot, and seizing the moment. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball.